That's what I appreciate so much about you, man. And when I got asked that question, um, it was very interesting, and I knew the response. But again, it's very counterintuitive to what you hear about patience in developing people, patience in, you take golf, for example. You're not going to go out there and win your first tournament, right? But you got to trust the process and you got to keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I don't believe in faith. I believe in what I see before me. I trust nothing. Okay? The idea of, well, one day it'll come. Okay, what if it doesn't come? Do I get my years back?
Not yet. Maybe in the future with AI, but not yet.
Well, the thing about belief is that you better be right. Because if you're wrong in your beliefs, the years that you spend are going to be mighty costly to you. Because they're never coming back. So no, I don't. Patience has a very.
It's not a virtue for you.
No, absolutely not. Urgency is a virtue. Now is a virtue. You know, if your house is burning down, you're not patient, are you? Right? You know, patience, it's for things that you don't care about. The things that you really want, you want them now. You're urgent. You'll do whatever you have to do, and you'll work all night long. But the last thing you'll do is sit at the table and say, "I'm going to be patient, and I'm going to trust the process and have faith that one day it'll come." What if it doesn't? Who are you going to blame? Because the same person who told you to be patient and one day it'll come and have faith, what's he going to do for you if it doesn't work out? What can he do besides say, "I'm sorry"? So the lack of understanding, ignorance has consequences.
When was the last time someone really impressed you?
Well, I can tell you people who I'm inspired by. The greatest source of inspiration in my life was Buddha. And I don't give 2 cents about what he said. Mm-hmm. Couldn't care less. I don't want to hear it. Right? It was okay. So, speaking of, speaking this, I think recently I put up on Twitter that the middle is the worst place to be.
But yet a lot of people attribute the Buddha to saying the middle.
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you this. So the middle is moderation, right? Right?
That's harmony. That's where they say that's where all harmony is.
Okay. So let's, once again, don't have any faith. You speak English, I speak English. We can understand basic concepts, right? So Buddha said that I will sit under this tree and I will sit on this spot and my bones may break and my skin may wither, but I will not rise from this spot until I reach enlightenment. So whose moderation is that?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. So moderation is nonsense. Okay. The middle way, once again, it's a dumbing down for the masses. It's how a person who is willing to sit in one spot until he dies. That's the middle way. That's balance. And speaking of patience, drank his own urine, emaciated, his body on the verge of death because he wanted to get to enlightenment. Is that patience? Nothing about the Buddha is patient or middle way. Once again, I don't care what he says. I don't even believe that what he said is what he said, unless what the things that he did coincide with that. That I buy because it makes perfect sense, because that's the way things usually work. Things work by way of urgency and intensity and by way of a fire, not by way of a trickle It doesn't work that way. So, yeah, people like to believe things because they sound nice and they fit into their nice, orderly, organized framework that you can teach in classrooms and then ask multiple choice questions about. Okay? That's the world. It has nothing to do with reality. Because if that was reality, then you could basically teach everyone to be great by following a prescription.
Wouldn't that be cool?
No, it wouldn't. Absolutely
Trick
not.
question.
Absolutely not. Nothing great happens by way of democracy. Meritocracy is far more valuable to human beings. One of the greatest advantages that a person with driven DNA has is that he knows that the rest of the human beings are not going to be equally driven.
Yeah, very true.
Why would you remove that inborn advantage?
Fascinating stuff, my man. Why don't we leave everyone with an important question that you would ask them to ask themselves between now and our next conversation? Is there one question that for people?
I'll just leave them with the question that I always ask myself, because it is the driving force behind my life. And that is, what is it that I do not understand? And I don't recommend that anybody ask it, because if they do, it'll be done mechanically.
So how the hell do we approach it?
Whatever seeps into your bones without your permission has already seeped into your bones. There is nothing intellectually or consciously that needs to be done.
Let it be, right?